Hello, my more brothers, back again, and seems like the hits just keep on coming. This reigniting of the gender war that people refuse to let go. Okay, I'm getting so many bits and pieces that are coming through my feed, not only on Facebook, I see it on Twitter, I see it, people email me shit constantly. So it's being on this side of YouTube, man, sometimes it's wearing. But I just want to drop this because it was in Erica Williams' feed, and we don't always agree. But it's interesting. This kind of demonstrates how little women actually know about men, really know about men, period. Because their feminist speak means that they think that men and women are equivalent, which is the post-structural feminist training, right? Nurture over nature. They think that men and women are just blank slates and they have the same roles and they should respond to the same stimulus the same way, and they don't. But I don't know where this came from. She just posted it. So I wish she would actually send a link so we can actually read the whole thread, because taking a segment out of somebody's conversation is probably unfair, but that's how women get down. But here it is on the screen, and this is from Jupiter Dev. Now, I don't know what the question was. It's actually not. I know many women who date men with kids and they have none. I asked them why. They say it's different compared to women having kids. Women don't date or judge men the same as men who date or just women. Okay, I don't know what that means. It's simple. Men having children shows that he's capable of having children. That's true. Can get sex, that's obviously. And is a good father, and that's only, I'm going to take a caveat. That's only if he has possession of his children. Okay, if he has possession of his children. A single mother with kids just shows that she can't keep a man or rather be independent. That's also true. Either way, there is a rebellion and lack of discipline for her womb. That is true. No person is born without a woman's 100% consent. I've said that. I got two grown women who still struggle. I got two grown women who still struggle with this concept, and one is supposed to be financially successful. LOL. I guess being able to make money in a monopoly society doesn't always translate to dating and mating. That's also true. And Erica's response was, Jupiter Dev, now that's delusional talk. If he is a divorced man, divorced, y'all need to do better English, man. This is ridiculous. If he's a divorced man that shows responsibility and being a good father, if he's just a single guy with kids, it's just the same category as a single mom. Okay, let's read it. And this is from her post. I don't know if this is part of the Facebook post or Twitter or comment section. I have no idea where it comes from. She should post a link of where this actually comes from so you can see the whole thread, or you get the whole gist of what she's talking about, what she didn't. I know y'all like to live in a dreamland, but a divorced, come on y'all, English. God, it's hard to read this stuff. A divorced father is a 10,000% different than a single dad who just has kids or is just having kids and not used to being a full-time spouse, full-time in-house dad level relationship. I get it when you separate yourselves from single mom stigma, but it's not possible. Just like divorced moms have a different experience from single moms. Okay. Woo! English. Come on. Erica, I am disappointed in you. All you college grads, your English is horrible. Okay? Your English is horrible. More reading. Okay? Reading more books, less blogs. Okay? Jesus. Anyway, I know, I have to get back to reading more instead of listening because my grammar is horrible. Because I don't read the text as much as I should. I don't read books as much as I should. And people writing blogs and newspaper articles, they're supposed to be English majors and writers. Their English and their text is horrible too. Anyway, what Jupiter Dev is saying is 100% correct about the experience between a single dad with kids and a single mom with kids. And I'm going to give you the bullet points before I go into the details, okay? The very first thing that a single dad with kids, and Kevin says this, that's different than a single mom with kids, okay? There's a very distinct difference, okay? A single dad with kids has to pay for not only his children that he has, but also the woman that he acquires. A single mom is not going to come in and take care of that man and his children. That's the fundamental difference between a single dad and a single mom. Who pays? Just like dating for a man is different than dating for a woman. A woman can go on 1,000 dates and it doesn't impact her. Why? Because she's not paying for it. A man going on 1,000 dates is 1,000% difference. Why? Because he has to pay for all those 1,000 dates. That's coming out of his pocket. It has a direct, harsh impact. He can only do it so many times. He's got to be more precise with who he chooses. The second thing is, how many points do I have? I should have wrote them down. Next time I'll write them down for you before I kind of do it off the cuff so I can gather my thoughts. I have to be more like Dr. Johnson. Got to start writing things down. I have to get in the habit. That's one great habit I need to pick up from him, which is why you hang around great minds. You know, I don't do enough of it. When you hang around great minds, you have to pick up their habits. There's a reason they got where they are. Anyway, the second thing is that men and women are fundamentally different when it comes to children and households. One, men biologically are not tuned to a nest. They don't nest, okay? So a man that has to create a nest for his children is something that he has to do against his biology. He has to actually acquire what they call the female emotional intelligence, which is not normal for him. He has to learn those skills. He doesn't come with those skills. You drop a baby into a man's arms, he's got to learn that child, okay? He doesn't have an automatic connection to that child that the woman does. Men and women are fundamentally different. So a father with a child is going to parent his child completely differently than a woman parenting a child. A woman is a caretaker. A man is a teacher. So there's a difference, okay? Third bullet point, why it's fundamentally different for a man. A single dad with his kids, got to say with his kids, okay, not a baby daddy, but a single man with his children, that has his children. Since he's not a nester, since he has to pay for the child, and since it's his responsibility to actually pull these elements together, a single man is actually going to has to really vet the woman way more than a single mother has to vet the father. At the end of the day, single mother's going to still be taking care of the kids. The man is just extra to actually provide resources, a little extra resources, a little help. Basically, a father bringing in a woman with his children. He's got to integrate that household. Much different task. Single fathers are much more careful about vetting a woman with his children. Much more. And I've seen that across the board. Every single father I talk to, before that woman even gets to meet his children, he got to vet her because he's responsible for how the household runs, not the woman. So they go about it differently. The fourth thing, single fathers are going to have much less help because he has to be the breadwinner and the caretaker. Even if he brings in help, that woman is not going to help him take care of that child. Single fathers, since they're so rare and having kids, they get much less help. Trust and believe. I know. Don't ask me how. I had to do this shit. So I know. I'm not pulling this out of my ass. Now that I got through my 4 bullet points, okay? Now we're going to get into the ramble. It's not really a rant. At least not yet. Kind of getting tired of this, man. This is the feminist speak. Because I see people in the comment section, Erica's comment section. Well, naturally, she's a female. So basically, you don't have the females or female-leaning ideas. But it shows how little, not only do women know about themselves, but also the little they know about men. That they think that a single mother with children and a single father with children are going to be the same. Not even close to being the same. Why is a single father that has a house or household and taking care of his children, okay? is attractive to women without children. Simple. It's really simple. And black women don't get it. Okay. Now, let me just say it. Black women got to be the dumbest group of women on the planet. They really do. They have to be the dumbest group of women on the planet, especially modern black women. I don't know how they can raise a group of women that are so stupid they can't realize just simple facts. Okay? I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to say, you know what? I guess I'm getting really old, man. I'm past that point where I even care. Black women are really stupid. Okay? Jesus Christ. It's really simple. The reason that black men or women are wary of single mothers, and single mothers that have children, especially by multiple men, are not attractive to most men because they're proven that they're a burden. Can't keep a man. You have multiple kids by multiple guys. And you've proven that you're irresponsible with your burdens. You're irresponsible with your burdens, and you're responsible with your womb, which is what he was saying. It proves that you're irresponsible. Okay? Because you've made irresponsible decisions by having children. Single father, even if he didn't get married, he didn't make the decision to have the child. The woman did. Most single fathers, I can say like 90% didn't make the decision to have the kid. The woman did. What the man did was accept the responsibility, especially in this society, accept the responsibility of the children, because probably either the mother was either incapable or less capable. So he had to take on the burden, and I'm going to say the burden of not only being the breadwinner for his children, but also the caretaker of his children. He's used to being a breadwinner because that's what you're trained for. You're not used to being a caretaker because you're not trained for that. And depending on how he integrates the two, if it's a well-run house by a man, that is number one. That's symbolic, number one, because guess what? Men don't nest. Men are not trained to run a household. If he's got clean, well taken care of, manageable children. Number two, because caretaking for children is not in the realm of his training. You're not trained to do that. Your brain is not organized to do that. Your brain is not organized to do a nest, to take care of a nest. It's not. So if he can integrate breadwinning with caretaking and organizing his nest, that's attractive to a woman. Why? Because women are attractive to what? Organized nest. So if he's got a nice place, whether it's a condo or house or even an apartment, he's got well taken care of children, and he runs his household is well taken care of, that's attractive to any woman, whether she has kids or not. Why? Because if he can take care of his children, his household, and still be a provider, that means he can take care of her. If he take care of all that by himself, he can surely add one more and take care of her. She's an adult. Easy to take care of her. Okay? All she's got to do is find a slot and slip in, because he's already proven to be a caretaker, to be a provider. Because why? Because he's providing for his children. Different roles, right? Different roles. A single mother is not a provider. She's looking for a provider. She's looking for somebody to take care of her. She's looking for somebody to take care of not only her, but her children. She's looking to get something. Single father is looking to give something. Fundamental difference. I don't know why it takes rocket science and special sauce to understand this shit. It's really simple. It's like an egg and sperm. Men can't have babies. Women can. Simple. It's called biology. Second thing is, a man has to be really careful about the woman that he brings into his household. Why? Because women do not like to take care of anybody else's nest. There's a reason that you don't see the evil stepfather in fairy tales, for a reason. Never the evil stepfather. It's always the evil stepmother. Why? Because women do not really integrate well in somebody else's nest. That's like a man with children has to be really careful about the woman that he picks to be in his household with his kids, because she's sharing the caretaking role, because he's just taking on another burden to provide for. She's not coming in just going to work and taking on the responsibility of him and his two kids. She's not doing that. She's an added burden. She's an added cost to his household. But she's slotted there for a particular role. He's got to vet her just like an employee. Are you a good fit for this household and my children? Because if not, then you can't be a wife You might not be a girlfriend. You're probably just, we're friends with benefit, have sex when we can hook up. Fundamental difference. Fundamental difference. Men are not nesters. Okay? Men are not nesters. Okay? We're not trained to do that. Okay? The difference between a man that has kids, married or not, marriage is a different level, slightly different level. It's not really that big a level difference between a man that's been married and a man that has children. Basically, at the end of the day, you still have to make a household. You still have to be a provider. You still have to make a household. You still have to be responsible for somebody outside of yourself. Men do not have a biological urge to have children. A single mother has a biological urge to have a child. Men don't have that. Men do not have an urge to nest. A man is perfectly fine with if it's not for attracting a woman, a man is perfectly fine with a bachelor's apartment, a 1-bedroom apartment, or even a very tiny house where he can have his stuff, have his hobbies, and date. All the accoutrements, all the nesting and the feathering, all that kind of stuff is attract a woman. Men don't need all that shit. A woman is attracted to all the nesting and feathering and house and all that kind of stuff. So a man having a wife or a man having children is almost the same thing, because you have to care for somebody outside of yourself. So a man that's 35, 40 years old, that's never had kids and never had children, is going to have a different mindset than a man that has had to take care of children or had to have taken care of a wife. He's going to have a different mindset. He's going to have a different outlook on life, because a man that's 40, that's never had children, never, if he's a baby daddy, he's been spreading seed from here to there. That's a whole different story. But a man with children, he's got to set up roots. He's got to be responsible. He's got to set up schedules. He's got to do all this other stuff, even more so than he would with a woman, with a wife. So he's got to be selfless rather than selfish. That's why a man with his children, and I know because I've been in that space, is more attractive to a woman than just a single man without kids. It really is. I shit you not. A man pushing a stroller is way more attractive to women than just a single guy walking down the street. There's two things that a man can have, that will attract women like flies: pets and children. Because it validates, it proves, it's proof of concept that a man can take care of something. A woman with a house, with a big ass house and all that kind of stuff, do they have points for a man? Yeah, she'll get a point. She got kids, well taken care of kids, she gets another point, depending on how she goes about her business. But at the end of the day, a man coming in without kids knows that he's not there to fit in. Okay, he's not there to fit. He's there to assume responsibility for him. A man with a great house and a nice house and stuff like that is way more attractive to a woman. Why? Because, okay, she said, this can be mine. She's trying to acquire it. She's trying to make that house her own. Fundamental difference. That's why when I talked about mating crisis and divestors and stuff like that, right? You guys don't even read your own literature. Women were not built to be breadwinners. They don't want to be a breadwinner. A man is psychologically trained and biologically suited to be a breadwinner, to be a protector, to be all of that stuff. He's psychologically suited to be there. Women are psychologically, biologically suited to be caretakers. Now, if you want to put men in the same role as with kids, the same role as a single mother, start giving children to the fathers. Give them all the accoutrements and things that go along with that go to single mothers. You want to do that, and then if you date a single father with kids, then if you're going to actually have the money to take care of them, take care of the kids, take care of him, move him into your house, pay his bills, be responsible for the care and feeding of the children, his children that's come from another woman, because no woman really wants to really take care of another woman's kids. They don't. They really don't. Okay. They never have. That's really the secret that nobody talks about. They expect men to do it because men don't have the same connection with their children that women do. They don't. My spiritual teacher had to tell me that. Women have a different connection to children. A child's body is built by the woman's cells. Her energy, her imprint comes directly into the child when the child is born. Men, because biologically you don't have a biological imprint to that kid, You have to develop it a different way. It has to be mental. It has to be emotional, that you have to bond with that kid. So it's easier to bond with a child. Trust and believe, I've done it. I've done it. Psychologically, mostly to bond with a kid that is not biologically yours, because your experience is different than a woman. This is fundamental. You have a whole lot of intelligent, very smart people arguing over bullshit. All you gotta do is pick up a freaking book. It's not that hard. This knowledge only goes back a couple 100,000 years. It's in any biology book, it's in any psychology book. Men and women are not the same. They're not built the same. They have two different roles in biology, okay? There is a difference between a father, a man with his kids. I say that. A man with his children, a single father, a single dad has custody of his kids, rather than a single mother that has custody of her children. Completely different things. That's how come being a single father is a hell of a lot harder than being a single mother. If being a single mother was as hard as it would be being a single father, women wouldn't do this shit. Trust and believe. That's why you see so many single mothers, because it's easy. If it was hard, they wouldn't do it. Anyway, probably droned on long enough, probably well past the point I should. Yeah, that's what the clock says. I droned on a lot further than I probably should. But yeah, I just want to spit that out. Fundamental difference. I don't even know why we have to keep reiterating this. I don't know why, women, modern day black women especially, keep saying the same shit. Because they don't want to be responsible for their actions. They don't. That's how come they keep trying to make black men equivalent to what they are. It's not even close. That's why either they want to do the Me Too in gender roles. White women wouldn't be even that dumb. They know better. Only black women can actually spew this shit and think that it's right. That's why I say black women have to be some of the dumbest broads on the planet. And I'll stand by that. Anyway, jump off here. This is BGS out. I'll see you guys.